We are group 15 of 19.1, 18.2 accounting batch 3. This presentation is for the module auditing and professional practice. We are going to talk about the crisis of Promoco Savings and Development Bank. These are group member details of group 15. Talking about the organization overview, Promoco Bank was commenced operation on July 21st, 1997 by Mr. Rohan Pereira. Mr. Pereira and some Celayan employees resigned and formed the Promoco Bank with the name of Promoco Savings and Development Bank Limited. CBL has only granted a license to operate a savings and development bank. With that, PSDB offers savings and deposit schemes, credit facilities, and other banking services to its customers. Next, I would like to invite Himansha to continue the presentation.
I am going to talk about performance and assess base, taking into account the assessed and performance of the Pramuka Saving and Development Bank. The bank currently accounts for the bulk of the NPA ratio as it shows the current position of the company's assessed base. Also, the inefficient advance rate has increased from 25% to 50%, and it was 18% when this bank collapsed. The bank also reported that the bank's total assets in the first 5 years exceed 1 billion. The bank bad credit ratio at the time of the bank's collapse was 2,200 million. This bad credit ratio led to an increase in the NPA rate. The bank incurred a huge loss of the 419.7 million in the 2002, resulting in a net worth of the 230.6 million. As a result, the Pramuka Saving and Development Bank invested 13.9% of its capital fund in the Pan Asia Bank. But this investment assets violate the central bank's direction. Next, I would like to invite Mahesha.
I'm going to talk about corporate failure. Promoco Bank had a significant impact on the banking and financial sector and was the first bank to liquidate the entire Sri Lankan economy. The main reason for the failure of the Promoco Bank was the inability of the board to adhere to the principles of corporate governance and to carry out legal, ethical, and responsible business activities. Promoco Bank wanted to sell mortgage property when customers have defaulted. CBSL has not approved the opening of branches to expand the operation of the Promoco Bank. The board of directors failed to comply with the regulatory requirements imposed by CBSL. Example is maintaining the liquid asset ratio at 20%. The directors transferred the EPF contribution to an unapproved internal fund and then invest in Promoco Bank. And the auditors respond the Miss Promoco accounting method by wearing window account books. Next, I would like to invite Shalini.
Now I would like to discuss the parties that were involved to the Pramuka Bank scandal. In this scandal, we can identify a lot of involved parties. Out of these parties, the board committee plays a major role. That means in every organization, management has a huge responsibility to achieve organizational goals while following the corporate governance best practices. But in Pramuka Bank's management has breached several corporate governance best practices. So, as you all can see in this slide, Pramuka Bank's board of directors never took the accountability towards the organization in order to maintain the well-being of the organization. And also, they accepted the wrong decisions that were taken by the other directors. As a result, when the situation went wrong, in order to avoid the legal procedures, the chairman of the organization was left the country. And the other thing is, most of the time, the board of directors did not listen to their stakeholders and acted in fraudulent manner. And also, they were breached central bank's rules and regulations and labor laws, criminal laws and civil laws. Moving to the next slide. The next party that involved was the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. The Central Bank was involved as a regulatory party in order to try to solve this matter. After evaluating all the possible restructuring opportunities, Central Bank came up with a decision. That is, according to the Monetary Law Act in August 2004, the Central Bank ordered to cancel the license of the Pramukha Bank and winded up the bank's operations. After the occurrence of this scandal, Central Bank was conducted more and more social awareness programs regarding the banks and financial institutions while issuing the list of registered banks and financial companies to the general public. The main objective of these activities was to advise the investors and the depositors to be aware of their investments. So now I would like to invite Vindhya to continue the presentation.
Now I would like to talk about the Board of the Directors' responsibility. In every organization, the Board of the Directors have the responsibility to monitor the duties of the company and make best decisions. But in Pramukha Bank, they were act very irresponsible manner. In Pramukha Bank has violated all the regulations of the central bank and ethical principles, as well as the labor laws. One of the very serious violations that made by the Pramukha Bank is they credited employees' provident funds contribution to the another unapproved funds, and they were reinvested the provident funds in debentures and bonds. So we can identify it as a illegal performance which is done by the directors board. The next party were involved is chairman. In every organization, the chairman's prime duty is to ensure that the employees will correctly and effectively fulfill their responsibility of the board of the directors and get the fullest contribution from all the directors, and he has carried out all the management activities in single hand according to his own interests. As well as Mr. Pereira act as both chairman and managing director's position. It can be identified as the main reason for the bank failure. Now, next, I would like to invite Supuni.
KPMG is the last party who involved to this Pramukha Bank incident. They have done the external audit of Pramukha Saving and Development Bank. According to them, they said their part has done very well, and the CBSL did not work on their report on immediate basis. But according to other parties like employees, they say there are some errors in KPMG side as well. The audited accounts of PSDB did not reflect a true and fair view of the status. The audit report raised several issues regarding revenue identification of KPMG, which was a violation of SLAS 23. Next, I would like to invite Monasha.
Financial statement analysis in Pramukha Bank. Pramukha Bank was not a public company, so there was no scope to publish the financial statement. By this time, total value of bad debt 2.2 billion, NPA 1.27 billion. Total amount of interest estimated as revenue on these advance was 93.6 million. At the time of suspension, net worth of negative value 2030.6 million. Pramukha Bank stood to loss 4,419.7. Negative net worth portion of assets amounted to 230.6 million. When referring cash flow statement, Pramukha Bank failed to maintain a minimum statutory liquidity ratio of 20%. NPA ratio, which was initially at 25%, has risen to 50% overnight, and at the time of collapse, it was at 80%. Next, I would like to invite Shane.
When it comes to the auditor's opinion on financial statement, the accounts for interest income that should have been suspended because those accountants are inadequate. In the audit report, they also drew attention to the following issues: the lack of updated valuation reports for properties obtained as collateral for loans, investing employee retirement gratuities in an employee share ownership scheme, exceeding the central bank's limits on the ownership of immovable property, exceeding the central bank's equity investment limits, as well as there were some extensive disclosures of related party transactions, including those with Promoco Merchant Corporation. Those were also included in the March 31st, 2001 financial statements, as well as KPMG has sent management letters to the board outlining those issues with internal controls. According to the KPMG, the audit report for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2002 has not been released because there was some confidentiality concerns. Next, I would like to invite Hiroshi.
Auditors have so many responsibilities. Auditors are impact of the successful performing auditors' responsibilities and them role. Auditors' responsibilities are internal control, risk management, external auditing, financial reporting, internal auditing. Then next slide. The CA Code of the Ethic has introduced 5 fundamental principles. First one is integrity. Integrity means the principle of the integrity also detect that professional accounting practitioner should be straightforward and honest all professional and business relationships. Second one is objectivity. Objectivity means that being biased to a certain party. Third one is professional competence and due care. That means they auditors have duties this maintain professional knowledge and skills at the level of the required, perform his job competently based on latest development in practice, the new legislation or new regulation coming into play and new technology coming that are available. Fourth one is confidentiality. Confidential means the principle of the confidentiality states that the auditor should not disclose any confidential information that they has access or that have gotten as a result of professional and business relationship to third party without obtained premises from the owner of information. Fifth is professional behavior. Professional behavior is the auditor comply with the relevant laws and regulations and should avoid any conduct that discredit the profession. Therefore, in Promoco Savings and Development Bank reach the responsibilities not act according to the above principles. Next, I would like to invite Selvan to continue this presentation.
Now let's see how the auditor failed. The Pramuka Bank began to collapse with 2002 and the bank's supervision unit in Central Bank decides close it down because of the improper practice and mismanagement happened within the bank. KPMG audit firm as an external audit of the Pramuka Bank, it's not get a real certificate from the auditor that financial statements are true and fair. As an auditor, they need to look at any single fact to prevent fraud, mismanagement, and any improper practice which happen in the bank. An auditor cannot take any necessary action without inform authorized parties about this fraud. But KPMG not do that also. The KPMG has not fulfilled all CA Code ethic principle also. They not gave any advice to the Pramuka Bank. Therefore, Central Bank identify auditor of Pramuka Bank also responds this collapse. Now our presentation is over. Thank you for watching, listening.